Is the best way to a baby's heart through its stomach? And does it matter how soon she can hold a hexagon? These are some of the questions posed this month. Fish fingers are the food of love. Got another note from the school. Where is Ben's lunch money? Again, I claimed I'd sent it on Monday, and again we found it at the bottom of his backpack, under a box of elderly raisins and 2 transformer robots. He won't hand it in, you see. He remembers paying some money at the beginning of term and feels that ought to cover it. I'm surprised at his meanness because he adores school dinners. I had wondered how he'd switch from the lovingly packed balanced lunchbox I provided for nursery school. I need not have feared. They seduced him on the first day with ravioli and chips. Yes, Mummy, ravioli and chips together. Then there's usually something off a log with custard, a slice of jam roly-poly log, pink cake log, and they can even do jelly on a log, he tells me. Of course, I'm pleased about his passion for school lunch, but it does hurt a bit. It's the first infidelity, isn't it? Admiring another woman's cooking. The giving of food is such a basic part of motherhood. We don't have to hunt and forage for it nowadays, unless you count a visit to our local supermarket. But along with the grub, you're giving love and a bit of yourself. And if you start by breastfeeding them, of course you're giving quite a big bit of yourself. I was lucky enough to be able to feed both of mine. I say lucky, but the joys are mostly retrospective, I've found. It's worth the embarrassing leakages and cracked nipples, engorgement, early latch-on pain, which can bring water to your eyes. Truly, it is worth it to look down at an ecstatically replete baby, full to the eyelids, who gazes up eloquently saying, "Mummy, you are wonderful." No, I'm being fanciful. What the eyes are actually saying is, whoever you are wonderful. And then, like Benedict's love and fibre-filled lunchbox, you are replaced by ravioli and chips. Redundancy starts sooner, the day you find yourself ousted by a teaspoon of beige polyfiller entitled baby rice. Those fickle eyes of love turn instead to the Malupa packet. Whatever you are wonderful. Et tu, Miranda. Yes, at 11 months my daughter is beginning to abandon me too. I don't wean my children, they just lose interest. You try holding up your head, let alone your bosoms, when you know that you are now rating flavour-wise somewhere above a sodden flannel of bathwater, but rather below diced carrot. In many departments of mothering I have got it all wrong, but in feeding I have been lucky. My kids will try anything, taste anything, and probably eat it all up. I oughtn't to be smug about this because I know the reason. It is because I am an appalling cook. I did cookery at school for only 1 year, and 2 terms of that was embroidering a gingham apron and learning about food values, hence the balanced packed lunches. The term of practical cooking covered cauliflower cheese and reheated vegetables. Regrettably, I was away for fruit scones. And that is my entire repertoire. It is my conviction that faddy eaters turn down food because they hope and believe that something else and better will be offered instead. My children fear and know that the next offering could well be worse, so they eat what's put in front of them first off. When asked the best thing about his holiday abroad, my son replied, "The lunch on the aeroplane." Now do you see why he's so big on school dinners? Miranda, too, will eat anything she can lay her hands on. Red chalk, bank statements, connecting parts of Lego Technic. In fact, eating is her only interest in life. It was in my effort to find another hobby for her that I took her to a mother and toddler morning run by the local NCT. That's the National Childbirth Trust, to which every child-fearing parent ought to belong. I turned my head for a second to hear about another mother, that her son, the same age as Miranda, has 7 teeth, when a yell of anguish drew our attention to the sight of Miranda No Teeth closing her leathery gums on 7-Tooth's ear. As I've said, my children will eat anything. The good thing about belonging to an NCT group as a first-time mother is that you can get together with other mums and compare the achievements and development of your child. And the good thing about belonging to an NCT group as a second-time mother is that you can get together with other mums and try not to compare your children. Second-time mothers don't care. At least, they know that it doesn't matter when a baby says its first word, grows the first tooth, starts crawling, learns to sort shapes. They all get there sooner or later. How many mute, toothless grown-ups do you know who are still shuffling around on their bottoms and who couldn't post a rectangular envelope into a pillar box if they had to? Amy can say convolvulus, boasts the first-timer. At least, it sounds like convolvulus. And she can fit a prism into her shape sorter. Sorting shapes is a major preoccupation among L-plate mothers. It's so important for hand-eye coordination, you understand. My daughter, however, has a high level of hand-mouth coordination. She was rooting around in the corners and secret places of her high chair, havens apparently safe from the stern, disinfected J-cloth, and held aloft and gnarled an ancient digit of fish finger. Verily, the piece of cod that passeth all understanding. Heavens, I thought, how many weeks since I did fish fingers? And as my jaw dropped in horror, she reached forward and popped into my open mouth. I gasped and involuntarily swallowed. I knew she'd get the hang of posting shapes in her own good time.